Hello everyone, you're welcome to the JY's Crack Show, where it evolves joy and Ayo. In fact, we call it the Joy and Ayo Show. If you've not yet subscribed, please do subscribe, do like, do share. Thank you. So, in addition to that, please say no to rape. Say no to rape. Let her no be no. Good day, everyone. You're welcome to the JY's Crack Show. Well, today we are not happy, and that is because of what's trending on our social medias based on, talking about rape. Well, today I've listed out a lot of things that I would want to talk about when it comes to rape and saying no to rape and the education we give to our children based on rape, what they do, what they say, who they come across with. I have them listed because I don't want to forget them and I want to make sure I follow them. I just hope you follow me along as I talk about the sexual education for kids. Well, welcome back to the show. Looking at what is happening on our social medias of recent, there is no group you go to on Facebook, on Instagram, on anywhere you would see a hashtag rape. Now that's to tell you the increased rise of this in our society in Nigeria. Now as parents, as caregivers, what do we do? How do we help? What are the things we put into caution to ensure that this is not something that becomes trending in the next or in the nearest future? Well, there are some sexual educations for kids here. Dear parents, due to the increase, of children's sexual assault, we implore that our children should be educated and be enlightened so that they would not die in silence. Silence is what is bringing up this now because people have kept it for so long because of what the society may say to them. But as a parent, to prevent this, there are some educations we could give to these children. Earlier on, I read something on the group on Facebook also that said, at what age do you start administering this advice to children? Because some parents will say, I'm ashamed, I'm shy, I don't know how my child will react. It's like the child grew too fast and all that. Well, in this group, she said at 2 years, start it. And it's looking as if about 2 years is just too young to educate a child about sexual education. Well, it's not too young. I'm going to be listing out some things. You pick out the ones that you think are valuable for these kids and make your children your friend. The first one, you ask your child to mention the two body types of body path. We could have the public path and the private path. These are questions that I've seen virtually on the internet, but I just want to buttress some points in them, elaborate on them. Then you now ask them, what are these private parts? Now your private part should be that personal body part that no one should touch, should look, or should even play with. So by the time you tell your child that, when anybody is coming close to a private part and is touching it, is looking at it, is playing it, that child could come out because you've already given him or her that education. I'm sorry, I'm not going to be talking about sexual abuse on the boys. That's because it's prominent on the girls, and that does not mean I'm going to rule out the facts on the boys. I'm still going to say a little about it, but I won't be that elaborate on the boys. Now the next question you should ask them is, what part of the body make up each? Like for the boys, what are the parts? You should mention it. You should not say that thing in between your leg that is dancing, that stick, please, what is it called? It is called penis. The scrotum, the anus, the lip, the lap, the buttocks. These are boys' private parts. Then going to the girls, the vagina, and please point it out. The vagina, the breast, the lap, the buttocks, the anus, the lips. Then you should now also give them this question of what are the types of touch. There are good touch, there are bad touch. A good touch is the touch that doesn't involve anybody going closer to your private part. Now, don't roll out the fat there yet, because some molesters would start from the hand. Okay, I shake you, and the next thing they are going down, going down, going down. No, 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 no. So your child should know even that good touch must be watched. And a bad touch is this touch that has to go to the private parts. And don't stop there. It's not just the private part alone. From the private parts, it moves to the area around the private parts. Because if it stopped at private parts, now that child will just say, okay, mommy said private parts alone. Now, what is private part alone? So if it's not going around it, maybe the public path, she may not recognize it. But private parts and the area around the private path. Now, if someone is trying to touch or play with your private part, it is called what? It's a child you're talking to, and you tell the child it's a sexual abuse. So that when the child comes to report to you, say, Mommy, I was sexually abused, or someone tried to sexually abuse me, your attention will be drawn. So it shouldn't be named, and somebody is trying to touch a private part, it is called touching of private, nada. It is called sexual abuse. Then, who are those that can abuse you? Like, seriously, don't limit this answer. Anybody, anywhere, anybody, anywhere, everywhere. Your brother, your uncle, your mommy's siblings, your daddy's siblings, whoever, your neighbors, the security man, your teacher in school, could. So they should be aware of all this. Then tell them to say something about their lips. This should be for child. When someone kisses your lip, you talk. Don't allow anyone to kiss your lip, even mom and dad. Though you could attach some restriction there, this should come in the sense that any touch in your private parts higher than 10 seconds, because some may say the maid was washing their buttocks and all that. Yes, let them report to you. As they report to you, it may be a false alarm, but because you trust them, when they report to you, they would always report to you. That's one thing I know with children. Because you trusted them, you let them know that they could rely on you and count on you, and you could answer them, you could provide answers to them. You would see they would always report to you. So you're able to distinguish between a real sexual abuser and just someone that was trying to be nice, if that's the right thing to say. Now, what do abusers tell their victims? And are those things true? Please, it's not limited to what I'm going to say now, because there are a lot. You could think more. I said these questions can be found on the internet. Well, I will kill you. Now, is that question true? No. I think the next question is not giving us an elaborate answer on this question. I will kill you if you tell your parents. Tell your child. That person cannot kill you. It's even when you don't tell that the person will now kill you, because to get to a point the person discover, you might tell one day and would kill you. So it's better you tell as early as possible. Then also, I will kill your mom and your dad. That's another thing they could say. So you let your child know. When the person said I will kill your mom and dad, it's not possible. It's only when they keep quiet that they will be able to kill them. Then also understand that you will die. They might even go as far as showing them pictures on the internet of people that died of this and this and this, and turn the story to their own advantage on the child, and then the child will mute. But when you let that child know, tell me anything, cast whatever it is that disturb you, I am ready to hear you. That child will be so open to you that your parents won't believe you. Tell that child, I will believe you. I will reassure the child that no matter what, you are ready to stand behind that child. And please, even if it's a false alarm, like I said, support that child. Let the child know that, okay, it's eventually not an abuse, but I am happy you did this. And please don't stop it. Continue. I am happy you're growing in this direction. By the time the child see that I can rely on mom, I can rely on dad, the child would always know that any little touch on the private part needs to be reported. Then that they will blame you and beat you. That's another stupid thing they tell their victims. They'll blame you and beat you. Tell that child, I will never blame you. By the time you give your children assurance, they would have this desire to speak out to you. Now, another question is, what will happen to you if someone is trying to abuse you and you don't tell? That's another question. What will happen to that child? You let the child know that if someone is trying to abuse them and they do not tell them, all those threats that they've been threatening them will come to pass because they try to cover their track. And because you don't want that to happen to them, they should tell you. And that if they don't tell, the abuser will continue. In fact, it will make the abuser more strong, knowing fully well that you can't tell anybody. So tell your children to tell so that the abuser will be captured and handed to the appropriate authorities. And tell them to affect their studies because they will lose concentration. Now, and also let them to know that they will be unhappy and it could lead to depression. There are a lot of stories of even our celebrities that were depressed and attempted suicide. They were lucky, some might not be lucky. So please tell them it might lead to depression. Tell them you could be physically harmed and your life could be in danger. Like I said, if they don't talk, when the abuser now realize that it's like a basket is full, one day this child will talk. A accident could just happen to them and they are gone. And the dead does not speak. Then also let them know that they could contact sexually transmitted diseases like AIDS, like infections that could last them a lifetime. Now you should know the age that you're going to tell this to. So despite I'm written out all this, use your initiative to know which child, what age you're giving this. Be open to your child. Let them know that I can trust mommy, I can trust daddy, I can trust them to guide me. Then another question is, what are the things you should and should not do to avoid being sexually abused? One, do not go anywhere without your parents' consent. I think I want to elaborate on this. Like when I was growing up, my mom and dad used to give us these lectures on, if you're going out and I don't know anything about it, the presence of God is not going with you. And you are going without God's presence. It's looking funny now, but at then it was something we held on to. It was something I held on to because if I go out without letting them know, by the time I'm there, let me tell you, if anything just happened to me, let me say I dash my foot against a stone, or maybe someone chased me or something happened, I'll just remember that and I'll start asking God, God, please have mercy. God, please have mercy. So let them, not that you build fear, but let them know that by the time they confide in you, you know where they are going to, you'll be there to guide them. And this would be like an eagle story. You know, when the eagle has a child, the baby eagle, and it wants to train that child, it fly very high with the child, then let the child loose. Then as the child is going down, it's watching the child. It's training the child. It's watching the child. As the child is about to touch the ground, the eagle dive and go under, pick up the child. This is what a parent does. By the time you know where your parents are aware where you're going to, they become an eagle to you. They let you go, but at the same time, they watch over you. Don't talk to strangers. That should be a point you should let your children know. Don't allow anyone to lie on you. Someone tell you something and is lying, and because you just want peace to reign, you accept it. No. Speak for yourself. Then don't allow anyone to tell you to put off your pants, your clothes. This could be for children. They just put it off. Let me see. Let me touch your body. There's something I've seen at your back. Let them, okay, don't worry, uncle. When I get home, I'll tell my mommy that you said there's something at my back. So she will check it. By the time you let them know, you let your abuser know like this, they would stay clear of your children. Then no one must ever play with their private parts, and you must tell them that at any attempt by anyone, they should SRR, scream, Run and report. They should not just scream, run and keep quiet. They should scream, run and report. This is an important notice for children that have been accused. What they've been saying, they said when their parents are watching adult movies with them, and these are things, this with intimate actions in it, it kind of bring out these actions in them. When you're watching such a thing with your child, try to talk to the child. It's either you stop the child, but in this dispensation you just can't. Try to educate your child. Then dressing up in their presence, that's wrong. Please, that's very wrong. Batting them together, you bat the male gender, you bat the female gender together. No, that's very wrong. Sometimes you leave them naked in front of their other siblings. Be very careful. Be very careful. Like seriously, be very careful. Then entrusting them with strangers. Conclusively, I would say be vigilant. Never be negligent. Trust no one. I repeat, trust no one. Now review this session with them, review these questions with them monthly or twice in a month, once in a month or once in 2 months, and that will be able to immunize them against becoming a victim of rape. Well, we have more series on this rape. We want to stop here because we don't want to make the video more longer than this. Thank you very much. Please do subscribe for more are coming. Subscribe, like, and share. Thank you. Welcome and God bless you. The JY's Crack Show is we are interested in talking about lifestyle, daily news, and blessing you with God's words. Thank you.